Hey, it's Ethan with ComTech. Today I'm here to demo the Polycom 411, VVX411. Now, all Polycoms are very similar, so if you're watching this video and you have a little bit of a different Polycom, that's okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go directly by this sheet. I'm going to go straight down the list. So if you do not have this sheet, then look below in the link, look in the comments, and we'll have the link in there to where you can grab it. You do want to make sure that you grab the help sheet that says for Polycoms because they're a little bit different than compared to our Yay links. So let's go straight down it. The first one is making a call. Pretty self-explanatory. Pick up the handset, dial 10 digits. You don't have to press 1, you don't have to press 9. When you pick up the handset, it's going to automatically grab a line for you. Ending a call, hang up the handset, or if you're on speakerphone, you can press the speakerphone button. There's also an end call button that pops up here when you're in a call. Redial and instant redial, I'll cover these two together. For a list of dialed calls, press the right arrow key and you will see all of your dialed calls. If you press the right arrow key again, it will go ahead and dial for you. So that is your instant redial. Hold and park, I like to cover these together. If you're on a phone call and you need to go and check something and you're coming back to that phone call, maybe you need to go and look at a document or something like that. What you're going to do is when you're on the phone, you're going to press this button here. This is the hold button. When you press it, the caller will hear hold music. You'll go do what you need to do. When you come back, press the hold button again. That is a personal hold. Now, let's change the scenario a little bit. And let's say you're on the phone again and somebody says, hey, can I speak to Susan? Well, what you're going to do is you're going to put them on a public hold, which is also known as park. You're going to see park keys up here. So when you're on the phone, these park keys, if they're lit up red, then that means somebody is in there. So you don't want to put it on there. But for any of the ones that aren't lit up, you can just simply press park 3. The phone call will go in that public parking lot, which is a public hold. You'll then be able to call Susan and say, hey, Susan, somebody's on park 3. Susan will just simply click park 3 and it'll grab the phone call down. So hold is personal, park is a public hold. Intercom, I don't see this used as much anymore, but if you wanted to say, let's say you wanted to call Susan and make sure that she was in her office and you didn't want to ring her, you just wanted to go straight to her speakerphone. What you're going to do is press *50 and whatever extension Susan is. If she's extension 100, *50 100, and it's going to go directly into the speakerphone of Susan's phone, and you can say, hey, Susan, are you in there? You have a call. Something like that. Again, I don't see that used that often. Most of the time, people just dial Susan and let it ring, and if she doesn't pick up, then they tell the caller, hey, she's not there. Transfer and transfer directly to voicemail. I'll cover these kind of together as well. Let's say you're on a phone call. Let's say the caller says, hey, I want to speak to Susan, and you want to transfer to her. When you're on the phone call, what you're going to do is you're going to press this button here. That is the transfer button. You're going to dial Susan's extension. In this example, it's 100. And then to complete the transfer, you're going to press transfer again. So it's transfer, the extension, and then transfer. Now, let's cover that next one in the same area. Transfer directly to voicemail. Same situation. You're on the phone. You're going to press transfer. Now, if you wanted to transfer directly to Susan's voicemail, let's say you know Susan's in a meeting, something like that, what you're going to do is you're going to press the number 7, then Susan's extension, so it'd be 100, then press transfer again. What that's going to do is it's going to tell the system to automatically send the call directly to Susan's voicemail. Don't ring her phone. So that's very useful if you, again, know Susan's not going to pick up the phone, so the caller doesn't have to hear multiple rings. It can just go directly to her voicemail. Conference, if you're on a phone call, these buttons, we call these soft keys. They change to different items when you're on a phone call. One of the items is going to be conference. So what you're going to do is make the phone call. You're going to press the conference button. You're going to get a dial tone. When you get the dial tone, dial either an internal extension or an external number. When that person picks up, there is going to be a conference button. It's still going to be there. If you press it again, you will be able to see both calls on the screen and everybody will be able to talk and you'll have a three-way conversation. I did want to highlight something here. Sometimes these soft keys change or they move around. So there is a chance that when you press conference, the next time you go to press conference, you may have to press the more button, which is right here on the right-hand side. So I just want to highlight that you may have to press more to see that conference button. Checking voicemail remotely. We don't see this used a tremendous amount anymore because most people have voicemail to email set up. But if you don't, if you call in to your main number for your office and you get to the auto attendant, if you press the star key, it will ask you what is your voice or what is your extension. You'll type in your extension. It'll ask you what is your password. You'll type that in and you can check your voicemail remotely. D&D button. This is probably the one we get the most calls about, and that is it's right here. If you press the more button on the Polycom, and right there D&D stands for do not disturb. If you press it, you're going to notice up here in the top, you're going to have a little red circle with a white line through it. That means this phone will not receive calls. It can make calls, but you will, if anybody tries to transfer a call to you, it's going to go directly to your voicemail. So if you're not getting phone calls and you don't know why your phone's ringing, you may want to check that D&D button, and to turn it off, you just saw me there, you just simply press the D&D button. The last two that I have on this side of the sheet is volume and then how to request support. So volume is right here. We call it situational volume, or that's what I like to call it, because that means that those volume keys work depending, it doesn't matter whatever your situation is. So right now as the phone sits, if I were to press this, it's going to change the ringer. If I'm in a phone call and I can't hear the person, I still press the same volume keys and it's going to increase the volume of that phone call. Requesting support, send an email to support@comtechnc.com or give us a call. Our number's on the sheet if you have any questions or if any of this isn't making sense or if the phone isn't operating as I'm saying. Now, let's flip over really quick here to setting up my new phone. So when you're seeing this side of the sheet, most of the time we've came out and installed the phones, ComTech has, and you're now asking yourself, okay, I know how to work the phone, but what do I need to do to set it up? So what we're going to ask you to do is press the message button. When you press the message button, it's going to ask you for a password. Our default password that ComTech sets up is 1212. So you're going to press that, and then it's going to go through some prompts. Now, these prompts are constantly changing, so I put up here at the top of the list in red, steps subject to change, please listen to prompts. But what we would ask you to do is we would ask you to listen to the prompts and go in and re-record your name and re-record your voicemail, your voicemail greeting. We also ask you to change your voicemail password. I have all of that information on the sheet, so I'm not going to go through it here. But I just want to make sure and highlight that please record your name, your voicemail greeting, and change your password. You definitely need to change your password at the very least because that is a standard password and we want to make sure we keep security in mind. If you have any questions whatsoever, I've told you how to contact support, and have a great day.